Anyway, we're going into this game 1 of the play all 5 between these two players, and it's gonna be India against China on Manchuria, a very standard ESOC map, a good old ESOC map.
Yeah, I'm excited for this map for a few reasons. First of all, I really like this map just in general. It's always been one of my favorites. But then also they didn't click into a mirror matchup, which I kind of like, to be perfectly honest. Not that mirrors are bad, but anyway, this is more entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna need a minute. I forgot I need to plug my earphones, otherwise people have a terrible echo on your end. So wait, just
Absolutely.
that, and then should be fine. Sorry, everyone. All right, so yeah, we have here on the top right of the map, WickedCossack playing India in the color blue, and on the other side of the map, it's indeed SoldieR playing as China in the color red. And that map is definitely very good for both of these cities, with the wood treasures and all the livestock on the map. Both China and India are very happy to play on this map. So the civ picks definitely make a lot of sense. I didn't quite see what start India got, if it was a wood start or just a food start.
Oh, unfortunately, you're asking the wrong person because I was not paying attention either. But
I don't think it was a wood start. I don't think he has enough wood right now. It must have been a food start. Wow,
yeah,
that's a nice
this is
pickup.
a good pickup.
Yeah. Though that disciple did grab 3 yaks.
Yeah.
So even if SoldieR went for a trading post, which is an option, but you can also just go for 2 villages on a map like this where you might want to focus on getting the livestock and fattening it. But yeah, even though SoldieR did go for a TP, he's still grabbing a fair amount of yaks here. But the wood treasure is obviously extremely good for India, as their villages cost wood.
Yep, yeah, that's true. Trading off some yaks for some wood, especially as India. I don't know. Everything is good for India on this map, right? So they just don't have like the time to get everything.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they can grab a lot of the yaks in the middle. There's usually 3 times 2 yaks spawning around the middle of the map, and India, having faster explorers and 2 of them, can usually grab at least like 4 out of the 6. But if you do find like 85 wood, well, I guess you go for it. And he's gonna get the second wood treasure now, indeed, yeah.
That's awesome. It's such a great start for WickedCossack. And is he gonna do some non-standard things with his start, or I don't think so. I think he's just going for normal age up behind these wood treasures.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything too funky just yet. There's a forward Vil, which is quite standard in this matchup. Just gonna drop a forward Agrafort there. That is this stable treasure here next to the Agra that will be dropped soon. So that with the 2 sepoys, I'm pretty sure Wicked is just gonna bring his 2 sepoys and his elephants and just pick up that treasure and get a free stable, which is extremely nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, it's a 200 wood treasure plus like the amount of time you spend building it, and it's a military unit. Building right off the bat. That's a cool treasure.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Quite an OP treasure, actually, especially for this kind of civs who can just go for a forward barracks or Agrafort or whatever and start infantry and add cav for free with that treasure. So it's pretty good. Obviously, if you already start cav, like let's say you're friends and you go for some horse, well, you're gonna pick up the treasure, but it's just a second stable, which isn't insane. But here, it's just really good.
Yeah, no, for sure. What is your prediction from WickedCossack? What would you do as the Indian player playing against China? Consulate rush or just something a little different?
Not gonna lie, I'm not the greatest India player, and I'm also not the greatest China player. I don't really play Asian Civ, so I'm not the best person to ask to answer this question. But usually, you either see something aggressive from India, which is a bit harder than before now, because when China has a trading post, it makes it easier to ship units in H2 after 700 gold and defend the rush. But you still might see something aggressive, or you can see India just going up. Either doing some sort of semi or straight FF and just going up and battling it out in the Fortress Age. And China pretty much has to just react to what India does. And just usually goes FF, but might cheap units, like I said, or not. Also, Industrial is maybe an option for China in this matchup. If India goes up to Fortress, China being faster can probably just go Industrial. So we'll have to see.
Looks like it does look like a consulate rush at this point, given this right here.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll be looking at that. Also, quick Easter egg I just want to point out real quick is that the Mandarin Duck Squad player SoldieR has the shipment Mandarin Duck Squad in his deck, which I truly appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, he would get kicked from the team, I guess, if he didn't have that card in deck, right?
I probably, yeah. I don't think the manager would appreciate that at all.
No.
And,
we do see some water shipments in deck, but I don't think it's going to come into play just because Wicked is not showing any intentions to go water yet. He doesn't have the dock card, and SoldieR does have the dock card, but he didn't ship it. So I don't think they will do much on water, but they both have water shipments.
Yeah. Interesting. And SoldieR getting the getting the War Academy before his second village. Huh.
Oh, SoldieR triggering the treasure here, so these guys are gonna attack the Agra Fort. Yet another reason for India to pick it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, indeed. So this isn't the standard straight FF. It's some sort of semi-FF at least. He's stacking a lot of food, so I think it should be a quick semi, like just 700 wood, 700 gold, train a couple batches maybe. But we'll see. He might also be shipping units to defend that. We do have a consulate rush, because I wasn't 100% sure he would go for British consulate. Could have been a mind game and just go for Ottoman and get the villages, you know, and play greedy. But it is indeed going to be a consulate rush at this point.
Yeah. And you got 8 Chuko News coming out too.
Okay, so SoldieR wasn't trying to age. He was basically just Bispack Road and was stacking a lot of food. Probably because he had to get the 700 wood first until he could spend that food. And yeah, so that should definitely hold this rush, just because the Chukonos have more range and more speed and do great damage against musketeers. So I don't know what's going to be the follow-up for SoldieR, but for the time being, he should definitely be able to defend that. I'm not sure Wicked is even going to try to go in, although it looks like he is.
I mean, if you're in a consulate rush, you're kind of committed to making something happen. But with all these Chuko New here, I don't know. I feel like this may have been a very good read out of SoldieR, just of the situation.
Yeah. Wicked may be trying to mind game, you know, because we know Wicked isn't exactly the kind of guy who goes for aggressive stuff like that usually, but now he's doing it and maybe trying to catch SoldieR off guard, but SoldieR, yeah, just reacting really well here, popping all his Minutemen, snaring and blocking the Musks, Pikes going in cover mode to soak as much range damage as possible, and these Chukonos in the back just dealing so much damage, and at the end of the day, we can check the units lost, and SoldieR did lose 1 Vil, but that's not a lot. And he does ship the Mandarin Duck Squad, actually, yeah.
That's what the food was for. He didn't miss macro at all. We just didn't respect the flamethrower shipment.
Well, I mean, he was stacking the food a good 2 minutes ago, so...
Yeah, I say that in jest. But yeah, WickedCossack just getting pushed away by this age 2 play out of SoldieR, and then what does he do now? I feel like he can age pretty comfortably behind this.
Right. He might have even overreacted with that Mandarin Duck Squad shipment at this point, because he didn't even need it. He was just fine, and he might have wanted to go instead for 700 gold, and now he would be pretty much aging, which I think would have been better than shipping that. But it's true that for sure he's going to be safe for the time being. And also for SOA, follow-up from SoldieR here. So if you're going to ship units like that and not age directly, maybe go for the Pikes and just defend your stuff, because now this is going to be a tough one for SoldieR maybe. Although he's got a very good positioning between the 2 villages here.
Yeah, he's really entrenched, but there's just not a lot of anti-cav. But does that even matter against like the the position of all these true canoes.
And the Vils also tanking, doing a good job of sniping the Sawars with the TC Fire and his two canoes. A batch popping, kind of on the wrong side, not the greatest pop, but still, the pikes are doing good. This is looking pretty good for SoldieR, I think. Because at the end of the day, he's going to have just two canoes left, and Wicked will have only Sawars. Although more Sawars are joining, only 2 of them, but still, might just be enough to maybe clean this up now. I felt like he really needed the 9 pikes. He might still be fine, but the 9 pikes would have been so much better here. And another batch popping right into the sepoys. You don't really want to pop your stuff into sepoys. Doesn't matter what kind of stuff it is, you never really want it to pop into sepoys, right?
Yeah, never.
But he's alright, actually. But he lost a lot of bills.
Oh, 7 villagers went down. Oh my god. Yeah, that's quite the blow.
Quite an expensive hold here for SoldieR, and also not able to age because he trained extra units. And wow,
no.
And that's stable treasure, man. You know, like there's no way you get that much cap out usually as India when you go consulate rush because you don't have a good eco. But with that free stable, it's just another story.
Yeah, this is quite the interesting game. I did not expect it to pan out this way. You have WickedCossack, who sort of hurt himself a lot attacking into the Chinese player, but so much damage was done. I feel like SoldieR could have maybe optimized his defense a little bit more with pikemen, as you said earlier, and whatnot. But now that the dust has settled, I can hardly even say that one player is ahead of the other.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not sure either who is really leading here, because well, Wicked does have a good follow-up because he's India, even though he went for pretty much the most all-in build, right? Like using your export for redcoats and then shipping both of your unit shipments. So that was really the most all-in you can get as India, but it's still India. So behind that, he's got a nice eco, much nicer than the Chinese one. However, China also has all these fat or almost fat yaks. And so he's going to be able to age up quite quickly, even though he has to gather the gold, just because he's going to get so much food out of this livestock. And he does have a sizable army advantage here, even though he's going to age. So it's going to be very hard, if not just impossible, for Wicked to hit any sort of timing while SoldieR is aging. It's going to be very hard, but we'll have to see. Maybe Wicked can just follow up himself, and then he's in a good spot, probably.
When Wicked's 600 coin shipment hit the floor, I was assuming he was going to follow him up and maybe go for Yurumi or something, but it looks like he's actually massing units. More Sepoy, more Sour, and
more redcoats.
He's not gonna follow up. He's gonna try to make something happen right now in H2.
This is quite a scary batch now. I mean, 5 Sour, 5 Sepoy, and the redcoats from the consulate. But SoldieR is smartly walling up. Maybe not the best wall, because Wicked will be able to make his way into the base. Because if you can wall up, it's tough for India to do anything against Shukanos. And these vills are really exposed.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like him pushing those villagers might help out, force the army out of this entrenched position. I don't know.
Fight going on now. These redcoats going in melee. Kind of weird drag boxing from SoldieR. He might want to just have his entire cap a bit more in front. He's aging too, but he's aging with the 8 skirmishes, good old way. So he will probably be able to hold that. Like right now, the Sowas are sort of just dying here, but the Sepoy is doing a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, this is quite the fight. It looks, another batch of Sours coming in. The anti-cav from the Chinese player is slowly dwindling. Gurkha coming in as well.
Yeah, and then the 8 skirms are gonna probably just die to the Sowas. Although he's gonna pop them through the gate, which is very smart, but it's just gonna buy him a little bit more time. I don't think it will be enough to kill the Sowas.
I think India did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good for India. Then again, China will have probably intervention shipment, which is very strong. But yeah, I don't think it's enough at this point. It's probably game. That Mandarin Duck Squad shipment might have cost SoldieR the game, really. If he aged instead, he would have been a great spot, I think. But he wanted to ship Mandarin Duck Squad. I get it. I mean, it's his team, right?
Yeah, no, he has to. There's a moral obligation to. Yeah, there's just no way for SoldieR to realistically deal with this massive infantry.
Unless Wicked ages up, because he might be aging, he's stacking a lot. So if SoldieR just gets 10 skirms, well, but it's the red codes. I don't think the red codes are enough here.
Look at these villagers going down, though.
Yeah.
So, maybe they escape? No, they
Some
can't.
of them. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of buying time, though, at the same time, just because you'd rather lose some eco here as SoldieR while you just can gather resources in your base, maybe, because he really needs to gather resources in mass units here. Meanwhile, SoldieR is aging, shipping 700 food, which is quite the questionable shipment at this point, considering that he's going to stack almost the resources for industrial. I don't think he needed that, but either way, he's going to be up. And so that kind of gives some time for SoldieR to breathe, but will he really have any sort of timing now to push out before India gets his own fortress shipments? Oh, rip.
Yep, I just had to point that one out. But yeah, I don't know. Cossack is in such a commanding lead at this point. Even if SoldieR does get breathing room, like India has twice the breathing room, and he can just do whatever they want. Like, so I don't know. I'm not hopeful for SoldieR in this game, but I'm interested to see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, actually, Wicked staying in H2 would have probably been one way for SoldieR to maybe win by just having superior units. But now, I mean, SoldieR doesn't have any way to push this. There's just no way he's gonna push, even if SoldieR invested resources into aging now. There's just no way. Even with one more unit shipment, it's just not enough here. And then Wicked will get you know, just stuff like Euromies or whatever and just hold easily, and then gonna sit on twice the eco basically.
And that's almost what they're at right now. If you look at recalculated economic population, it's basically twice the economy.
Although
Indian units are so good too at this point in the game.
There is also some free units popping from China which aren't taken into account, like from Boss of the Wonders, but still, yeah, it's not close. And also, yeah, he's up with the Tower of Victory, so India gets an extra 800 wood now and can use the inspiration ability. So yeah, well, China has to go now. He needs to try. It's now or never, but I think it's gonna be never because
Yes.
what is he gonna do with this little army? And I guess he's gonna kill some vills now, but it does not really matter.
One vill goes down, which is a moral victory at this point. Second villager goes down, second moral victory. But yeah, it's and Urumi. How does China even deal with Urumi? Excuse me, at this point.
With Cav, but yeah, not at this point for sure. He doesn't have enough. And the veteran sepoy is gonna be very scary. And yeah, Euromies, and this is an unkillable army for India in this game now. And India's gonna just go. He doesn't have to go. He should probably just sit on the map and all that. But you know, he just feels so ahead and so comfortable that he's gonna just finish it, I guess. But in theory, you don't want to fight now. As India, you want to delay the fight because of your superior eco, but it just doesn't matter. And this Chinese army gonna maybe get caught there.
Yeah, he's being pushed towards the Indian side of the map, which is quite the runaround, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess he can push away and try to kill some vills and sepoys, but if these sepoys go to melee mode, they might just snare enough for the rest of the army to catch up. Also, inspiration is probably going to be called now because this increases the speed of the units, so the Euromies are going to be even better.
So
yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be GG. I mean,
the positioning of that Chinese army was just really awkward, and WickedCossack just outmassed him so much. GG.
Yeah. It was looking good for China at first. He was holding just all right, you know, but...
Damn Duck Squad. Probably shouldn't have sent it. Looks like he agrees with your assessment of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly what he says. Just spikes and age would have been much safer and better, and then he could also wall up a little bit, and when you have your Chukunas behind the wall, if you split fire a little bit, they just kill sepoys so quickly. But yeah, just barely just not holding, you know, and just dying to the push. And it was just GG there in the graph. We can see that at 13 minutes. China just aging quite late and losing his entire army and losing also a lot of bills and just being behind in every aspect at this point.
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point of this game, I believe. But entertaining nonetheless. I really enjoyed watching this one.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. All right, so that makes it 1-0 for WickedCossack in this playoff 5. And next, I need to check who will pick first. It is Mandarin Duck Squad picks first in game 2, so it's gonna be SoldieR picking first, and he cannot play China again. And it's indeed a Herald Island, so that's another. Yeah, that's a funky map a little bit with that pass on the left of the map where you cannot build anything because it's frozen, but there's like 2 gold mines and some hunts. So it's a very raidable part of the map where you cannot build an outpost, you cannot wall up, nothing. So you don't get any line of sight. You just send your vills there and hope for the best. But very often some cav shows up and just kills your stuff. So it's an interesting map.
Yeah, one of the funkier maps for sure in the map pool. Nothing loses to Germany.
Yeah, looks like Wicked is in a bit of a trouble here. He doesn't quite know what to pick. Otto, really?
Oh,
That's not very
Ottomans.
wicked. Not much of a wicked sim, I would say. I mean, usually he goes water with Otto because he's greedy, but on this map you cannot boom, you cannot water boom. So
That's a curious pick, and you've only got like 2 trade posts that you can realistically take as the Ottoman player as well.
you might be able to take 3 just because you're Otto, when Germany might not even want to go out to burn your trading post, just afraid of losing it, losing your army. But yeah, it's not the greatest auto map either. All right, then let's go in this game 2 and we'll see what we can do with that. I've never really seen him play standard auto, so it's gonna be interesting. I guess he's gonna do some sort of aggressive stuff because you kind of have to. We'll have to see.
Yeah, this is actually one of the matchups I'm not overly familiar with, even though I've played quite a few games as Germans.
I kind of know this matchup pretty well. I've played it quite a lot in tournaments and just in regular games as well. There's several options. Otto can try to go for a tower FF into contain with just like veteran Jan and some extra ton centers because that is buffed on EP. Ton centers being cheaper and mosque upgrades also being cheaper. Or Otto can go for Jan Hassa, which is maybe the more standard way to play it. Either Stagecoach Jan Hassa or very aggressive 700 gold Jan Haas stuff. And Germany pretty much has to react and scout and just FF if Auto FF, crossbow pike, probably if Jan Haas and all that. But yes, we will see what they do. We have here on top of the map SoldieR playing in the color blue as Germany, while on the other side it is Wicked playing Otto in the color red, and it is a wood start, which is pretty good for Germany as he will be able to take that trading post straight off the bat.
Yeah, so for sure. And then even if this trading post does come under fire a little bit later on from the Ottoman aggression, it's still going to get so much value out of it.
Right, even more value because it's dropped so early. Because if you drop your TP in transition to H2 and then it's burnt down like a couple minutes later, it feels bad. But here you get a lot of XP through the whole H1. So yeah, it's really definitely nice for Germany.
Yeah, for sure. Does SoldieR have an extra hunt over Wicked, or?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Let's check the hunts. I always forget about that. Yeah, that did not quite spawn for Otto, did it?
I don't see it for Otto.
Yeah, I think this might be worth a rehost here. I mean, these are really bad hands for Otto. I think at this point, Wicked is probably willing to rehost even just because of the wood start anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also
And,
just one thing I wanted to point out before we go out of this game is that Wicked did not actually spend his wood, so he was probably going for something quite all-in. Usually you build a mosque on EP because it's just really good, but he did not build that mosque, which is interesting. But we will never know what he would have done with that wood, unfortunately.
We'll have to see what he does next game, and maybe that'll clue us in on it.
Probably, yeah. Has to be something aggressive, I guess, if you just cut some eco, because the mosque is better than half a trading post, but it's also, well, it costs half a trading post, but it's better than half a trading post, so it's just a really nice building. And keeping it probably means, yeah, you're going to go for something extremely aggressive in H2 because you want to keep your wood. But we'll see what he does. Hopefully it's a wood start again, because it's just a bit sad for SoldieR if it gets rehosted and then he gets like a food start with no coin or no wood or something. But
yeah, we'll have to see what he gets on this one.
Yep.
Still loading.
The hunts might be still bad. Need to check a bit more closely.
There is a wood start though, so soldiers should be okay, and a 40 wood treasure in base for him. But yeah, the hunts.
I guess this is better because now there's a hunt here which Wicked has, but SoldieR doesn't, and he might be able to bring this close to his TC. But the hunts are definitely a little bit worse for Wicked, but I think it's acceptable now because this one is almost as far from the blue TC as that one from the red TC, I guess. Almost as far. So I think it's acceptable.
I would agree with that. I think this is okay.
And yeah, so I'm going to introduce the players again quickly. We have here on the bottom of the map SoldieR in the color blue playing Germany, and on the other side WickedCossack playing in the color red as Otto, now up 1-0 in this play all 5 series. And it is luckily again a wood start, and again Wicked is indeed not spending his wood, which is not standard, and we'll have to see what he does with it. I'm glad we can get to see that.
Yeah, this is the rehost was definitely on our side on this one. The wood start we get back, and we still get to see what Wicked's gonna do. I'm so interested because you should get value out of that mosque no matter what, and he's like not using it.
You get quite a lot of XP out of that mosque, so it has to be for a very good reason if you're not gonna build it. SoldieR coming back in his base to get that 40 wood, which is gonna help him quite a bit to get his house up. Now that he built the trading post. However, might have wanted to maybe crackshot at least the bear before going for the TP, because he would easily get the first XP anyway, and he would just, you know, be able to pick that up with a veil or something like that, and then he wouldn't need to come back in his base. Just maybe a small mistake from SoldieR here. What do we have from Wicked side? He's gonna work on a 90-foot treasure, which is very nice for Otto, although I'm not sure he will get it in time for his age up.
Yeah.
Especially,
I'm just so unfamiliar with the Ottoman side of this. He's picking up 90 food, which is going to help him.
Yeah.
I guess he's going to pick it up too late for it to help him age up faster. So not the best value out of that treasure. Especially
because he sort of mismicroed that. He let the wolf reset and then he lost a lot of HP, which kind of is sad. If you want to go for trading posts, you definitely don't want to lose too much HP on your explorer as Otto. I mean, he's half HP after one treasure, one kind of small treasure. So that is potentially going to be a problem if he wants to grab that middle TP here. However, I don't think he will even take a second TP. Because if you do that kind of play, then you might as well build a mosque in age 1, right? So I think he's just going to go for a very aggressive sort of Jan Hus build. Gonna maybe chop just 300 wood, and for his houses, drop a stable, a barracks forward, and just ship 700 gold and get 5 Hus, 5 Jans out and be very aggressive here, which can be scary for Germany, but we indeed do see some forward villages here.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. So yeah, definitely aggressive play out of WickedCossack. Kind of turning the tables, right, compared to what we were saying at the very start of the series. SoldieR is traditionally a bit more aggressive, and Wicked is a little bit more creative, but not what we're seeing here.
Right. And this is actually good for Wicked here. Yeah, I mean, he's being chased, but meanwhile, Germany cannot actually scout the front base, so that is pretty good for Otto. And if he doesn't scout it and doesn't adapt, it's gonna be tough. Because you can't just really blindly go for crossbow pike, right? Because what if Otto goes FF and you make crossbows and pikes in your base, you just lose. So you have to scout and make sure you know there's a front base. But yeah, soldier scouting not too much on point here.
He's got a pretty good scout of his own base, I guess, so we'll give him that much credit.
Yeah.
Which is... Yeah, he's just chasing this explorer around, which is funny. He's going to completely miss this barracks, as you pointed out. And there goes the stable.
Right, even a bit in the back. Because, you know, you would scout one building and be like, okay, I scouted it, I'm going back now before some Jans kill my explorer. And then you don't actually see the stable behind. So Germany could go only crossbows and not pikes just because of that or something like that. However, well, anyway, Germany is not scouting. Well, now he might try to find that. And like I was thinking, indeed, we see 700 gold first. So that's a good old all-in Jan Haas aggression here.
Yeah. Not one bother for any sort of late game. Is there even a market for the Ottoman player? No.
Nah. Well, to be fair, at this point, you don't really want a market. If you're going to invest some wood into eco, you'll just grab a second TP or, again, a mosque. But he did none of that. Just chopped 300 wood in transition to get the pop space. And yeah, just gonna spam these units very early. And did SoldieR age a bit late, maybe? Yeah, no, he did not, actually. But yeah, he's going for the greedy 3 settler wagons because of no scouting, and I don't think you want to do that against Jan Haas. You kind of want to make 5 pikes and ship 8 bows or something like that.
Yeah, a little bit of greed out of SoldieR. We'll see if it pays off, but I don't know that it will.
But these batches are not too good for Wicked. Usually you get 5 Jans, 5 Haas at like 5 minutes, and now it's 5:40 and he's got only 3 Haas. He's hiding them though. Which is interesting,
I can respect that.
Oh, did that explorer spot the stable? I'm not sure, but
I think it was just barely missed.
That's big.
Yeah, because the trade post is again under siege. We'll see. I think SoldieR will maybe let this go. I don't know. See, he's pushing out with the expo, which you would not do if you knew about the cavalry.
This is just a big bait from Wicked to just force SoldieR to move out and just clean up his entire army.
Yeah.
Nice catch here by SoldieR, but he's gonna
the bigger catch is right here.
You're gonna just not do that. You need anti-cav here. I mean, if Otto has only 1 TP and he's not going FF, you kind of know he's gonna Jan Haas, honestly. There's no other real option here. So yeah, that is not looking too good for SoldieR. And
that was actually brutal.
Yeah. And now what do? I guess you train Dops or Pikes and you ship 8 bows and call Minutemen. But it's gonna be tough because it's gonna be idled. 1 house also did not go up here, which might be a problem for SoldieR. Popping some pikes, he's got 5 bows alive, but yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous army compared to what Otto has here.
And he does not even have the coin necessary for Minutemen at this point.
No,
so
he barely does,
he just sold it.
Oh, he's calling them now.
Yeah.
So maybe 5 pikes gonna pop or something in Minutemen. 3 Dops, Minutemen, that's a big pop. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but it's definitely one of the best pops SoldieR could dream of. Also popping the settler wagons, but the Dops and the Jans and the Haas are going to go on top of the crossbows. I don't know if this is a close fight. I think SoldieR will be sort of okay, but he will probably lose a couple of vills in here. It's going to be an expensive hold, but it might just be what SoldieR needs. The settler wagons doing a lot of work here, and the Minutemen still alive. More pikes popping, gonna be able to snare the Jans. That is a big pike pop, actually. I know it doesn't look like a big pike pop, but the fact that they can snare and the Minutemen are behind, although Minutemen are almost dead, so never mind, I guess. Not gonna be quite enough, but there's almost nothing left for Wicked at this point, so...
Yeah, Wicked is actually kind of dead in the water. If, to my surprise, looking at the last tab, SoldieR actually only lost a single villager.
Yeah.
Which puts him in a commanding lead at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, especially with his following 8 bows. And that is the strength of the early trading post for Germany. Even though he lost it, you can still see his shipment progression is quite good, despite losing the TP. So, and then
but he rebuilt the one right over here.
All right. Yeah, kind of.
That's
Yeah.
quite the surprise. I think he snuck that in without anyone noticing except for himself.
Yeah, it's just right next to the Otto front base, which is kind of not where you want your TP to be. You might as well have rebuilt it here, maybe. Because now Wicked should probably go back. I don't think he really has the military to do much here. And he could just burn that down. However, SoldieR going forward with a lot of bills, but he also has a lot of pikes and some crossbows. Not sure if it's enough to deal with the Giants. We'll see.
It's quite a number of Janissaries.
I guess Wicked is SoldieR is gonna be fine here. Wicked kind of need Abus guns at this point. They would do great against crossbow pike.
He did just sip 600 coin, but no foundry in sight. I think he's just going to keep on the Jan Husser and then not transition at all. Still no market out of WickedCossack as well.
Yeah, I think he just identified maybe that these trades were pretty good for Germany, and maybe maybe Wicked doesn't feel like he can afford to actually drop a foundry and start training Abus. But I think he could, just because he's floating 400 wood. What are you gonna do with that anyway? Does he not have a foundry really? No, he should. I mean, 600 gold, 400 wood. You can totally make Abus with that, and it would be pretty good. But well.
I'm not sure what Wicked has in mind at this point, because SoldieR is clearly sticking to H2. He's just throwing down a second racks, bumping out even more crossbow pike, and not even considering an age up from the looks of it.
Nah, I guess that's kind of smart because unfortunately SoldieR did not bring this in his phase. So he's sort of struggling for hunts, and if he would age, he would get pushed and out of food. It would be very dicey for SoldieR here. So I guess he just feels like it's safer to stay colonial. And when you have such a lead, you know, I mean, Otto not having stagecoach, so just a standard garbage Ottoman eco at this point. You have 3 Ulans to raid. You see a lot of idle time here. And you have just more mass, more eco. You just can obliterate Otto. As long as you get one good fight, like what happened, you just win pretty much, because you just outmass so much. Unless Otto goes Abus, then it's more tricky. Because
two
yeah, could have saved that Ulan, but yeah.
He didn't quite. Also, something I noticed that's a little bit on the side is that this hunt is not scouted by WickedCossack. This was actually uncovered in Fog of War by SoldieR with those Ulans, so he does not know about that.
Oh, but we have a fight. The crossbow running right into the Hussars here. Not the greatest position for SoldieR. Maybe a comeback here from Wicked. The pikes in the front getting sniped, although they do a lot of damage to... Yeah, never mind. SoldieR is just fine, actually. It was looking bad for SoldieR for a second, but you know, right now, I mean, 10 more pikes joining the fight. This is probably just GG, actually. Look at the scores. This is just too much.
There's simply no way for Ottoman to deal with all these crossbowmen as of this point. These Janissaries are very tanky, but also don't have quite the attack necessary to... SoldieR with some very good advice there. But GG is called, and SoldieR evens it out. Quite the game. That pop from SoldieR really flipped this game upside down, and that was a treat to watch.
What was quite the pop, really. But then, you know, if Germany is stuck in H2, you already can go Abus gun, because they even kill Ulan, really, unless there's a lot of them. But yeah, so Wicked sticking to Jan Haas, and Jan Haas doesn't do too good against crossbow pike. So, oh well. Was definitely a nice pop. Was looking really so bad for SoldieR at start when he just deleted some of his units there. Being a little bit too taking too many risks, but then that pop, yeah, just was really good. can see it in the graph, and that's exactly the kind of stuff you need against Otto. That power spike from SoldieR, going from 11 military to 25, that was a big pop.
Yep.
And yep, not much else to say about this game. So SoldieR losing a couple of years being idle, but ultimately still being just fine. All right, so that makes it 1-1. And well, that was some typical SoldieR stuff, because he's kind of known for, well, Germany is his main civ probably, and he loves to crossbow pike with Germany. Good old school stuff.
Yeah, that's his go-to. It's been his go-to for so long, especially playing Germany, just sticking it out in H2. Kind of going back to what we were saying about the non-standard play.
Yeah.
He really does his own thing, which I respect.
Yeah, then again, for once, it's sort of standard. Like crossbow pike against Jan Haas is pretty much the correct answer. Or crossbow dop is even better if you can afford it, but it's not easy to get enough dops early on. But yeah, for once, the crossbow pike was actually the standard stuff. But sometimes SoldieR likes to do crossbow pikes in some matchups where you don't know why he does that. Like against Dutch, I remember him
Yes.
trying to tower rush Raphael's Dutch, for example, on stream. I was like, I'm not sure how good crossbow pike is against skirms, but in this case here, it was pretty good for sure. And now Wicked has to pick first, and locking Dutch on Bengal, an OTP map, so definitely a bit of a better map for Dutch usually.
Yeah, how strong is Dutch on? They're really one of the better civilizations, one of the stronger civilizations on this iteration. Am I wrong in saying that?
I think Dutch is quite average, or maybe a bit above average, but it's not really top. But on OTP,
Okay.
it's way better for sure.
Yes.
Then again, you can counter Dutch. It's not the greatest first pick, maybe, because SoldieR could go for Brits, which do beat Dutch quite hard, in my opinion. And even Russia is sort of a close matchup, but on that kind of map with low hunts, it's probably Russia favored. And it's much harder for Dutch to hold the Russian rush than it is for Russia to actually rush. So you have to be on point. But anyway, it's going to be Brits. So yeah, indeed. And that is not the worst matchup ever for Dutch, but I definitely think it's Brit favored.
Yeah, the Brits really have the tools. They have a boom, and then they have the longbowman, which
Right.
deals with many of Dutch's staple units rather well. I'm interested to see what SoldieR brings out.
Yeah, same. And we're going to go into that game 3 of the playoff fight between SoldieR and Wicked now. 1-1, close series so far. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens in this game. It's kind of Dutch has to sort of just scout and react in this matchup. British can be faster, more aggressive, and eventually get more eco than Dutch. And Dutch sort of has to just react properly. You need to find the right window to wage up. It's not easy. You have to hold the longbows, which is also not easy. But we'll see what Wicked does here. Wicked being sort of a less boomy Dutch player, actually, going usually for something like 3 banks, and not really building more than that. Do you want to introduce the players, maybe?
I will go ahead and do that. Here to the left part of the map, spawning in the color blue, we have SoldieR playing the British, crackshotting a 50 wood treasure right off the bat, which is a very good start for him. And then panning over here to the eastern side of the map, we have WickedCossack in the red playing the Dutch, equally crackshotting, I believe it was 30 XP. And both players going out to scout the map as of right now.
Wait, did he actually crackshot the 30 XP? That would be
I
very
feel
sad. No, he didn't.
he-
Okay, he just, yeah, because you can kill that macaque into
Oh, did he? Oh, I'm
shots.
sorry.
Yeah, now he used it. Thank
Made
God,
an
because that would
assumption
have been
right there.
sad.
Okay.
Wicked going for his patented market start. He loves his market start as Dutch. He's chopping some wood, so it has to be for that. Not personally convinced it's that good, but we'll have to see. I mean, it wasn't a coin start. It wasn't a wood start. So Wicked just really ballsy here, just going for the market with just nothing, like just gonna chop 50 wood and buy 100 wood. Buying wood being superior for Dutch compared to other Cs, but still, obviously you have to mine all the extra gold, and I'm afraid he might have to age up with 16 bills maybe instead of the standard 15 because of that. Meanwhile, SoldieR got a market, because that is quite good. When you get a 50 wood treasure, you can easily, even though it wasn't a wood start, I believe, yeah, you can easily... Wait, was it a wood start?
I
I don't
don't.
think
I feel
so.
like if it's a wood start, you get a second manor instead of a market.
Market is fine, but
Uh,
I'm trying to figure that out. Why does SoldieR have 10 wood left? That's what I don't understand. Maybe he just overchopped 10 wood or something.
Yeah, he did pick up that wood start in the
Oh
wood
no!
treasure at the very start of the game, so maybe that threw him off.
No, okay, I get it. He didn't get hunting dogs, that's why. So he's got 250 wood at start with a 50 wood treasure, and then he just spent 240 wood because an EP manors cost 140. And he did not actually get hunting dogs, which I'm not a fan of, because then he might as well have chopped, how much? You need 280 for 2 manors, right? And he had 250. I think chopping 30 wood for an extra bill is a very cheap investment, and I would have liked him to do that, or at least go for hunting dogs if you build a market. But he did not quite go for that, going just for the quicker age up, I guess.
Yeah. So Cossack's doing his thing where he ages more slowly in age one, and then ages with a better economy, whereas SoldieR kind of went for the tempo play, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to give an advantage to either one of them at this point. I mean, it depends on how SoldieR perhaps punishes Wicked's late age up. So
Yeah, he does age up a bit later, roughly 10 seconds of idle turn center time, maybe. Like he didn't make bills for 10 or maybe 15 seconds, so he's gonna age up a little bit after Brits actually, while in fact usually Dutch has a slightly quicker age up than Brits. But yeah, he does have a market, and even now for his bank when he needs to get 350 food, well, hunting dogs is helping quite a bit, so it's interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. Definitely gonna make it slightly harder to defend the pressure, but because there will be pressure. We do have a forward bill building a manor there.
yep, and most likely going for musketeers in the with this forward manner,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
The standard stuff is more like longbow pike Huss, I believe, but I know that SoldieR does like to open Musks or Huss against Brits and then just add the other units. So he goes Musk Huss either way. We don't really know if he's gonna start with a stable or a barracks. In my opinion, starting stable is just better here than Musks. We'll see if
Looks
it's
like
Musks.
he put one down. He put a stable down and then canceled it for
Yep.
barracks. So it looks like he's not following your advice on this one. And then a stable for the Dutch player as well.
Right.
Interesting.
Kind of a forward stable. Not sure I'm a fan of that position. You might even be able to siege it down from that angle here without being shot by the town center. I'm not sure, but it's quite an odd stable placement.
Is it maybe
And
to help protect this coin mine a little bit?
yeah,
Obviously not
probably.
ideal.
But you might as well just pay 10 wood and build 2 wall segments between the market and the native settlement, I guess. But
Yeah, that would be quite the wall actually for sure.
yeah. But well, we'll see. Maybe it doesn't come into play anyway. Maybe this table will be fine. I just feel like if I was SoldieR and I scouted that, I would just open pikes and just start burning the stable down. But we'll see what SoldieR does. He does open mosques. So the thing is that if Dutch scouts that, usually he can just go for barracks and skirms, and then the mosques aren't too good. But now they're pretty good because of the stable start. And Hassa's popping in the must, not the greatest for Wicked. Although he's gonna decide to take the fight, pulling back one of the hussars, changing his mind, running away now, losing almost one huss in that little exchange here.
Yep. Yeah, this musketeer opening was kind of, I almost want to say lucky from SoldieR, just because of the decision to go for Hussar, to commit to Hussar so early on from WickedCossack. But
Yeah.
700 wood coming on the ground, he should be able to get a barracks down pretty easily and maybe make a quick switch to skirmishers behind all these buildings while the Hussar go out and raid.
Right, but he also does kind of need to get a bank up because he went for the bank wagon, which is a less greedy version of the Dutch play, where you just don't build a bank from 400 wood and get only one bank from the bank wagon, and now he's sitting on 2 banks. So yeah, he has to drop a bank right now, but he's also building a barracks indeed, and these musks are not quite dealing with that, so it's gonna go up safely, luckily for Wicked. Meanwhile, some raids being handled pretty well by SoldieR because he popped a batch of hussars of his own. I don't know if any villager died there. Nope.
Yeah, no villagers went down. They were just idled for a little bit, and didn't these Hussar both slipping by each other?
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be close. All right, looks like
there is a 4th Hussar around here somewhere. There it is in the.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like nothing quite happened. Just some posturing on the map. These musketeers obviously. Oh, this is actually kind of cute. These musketeers sitting on this coin mine. Wicked did have some villagers on this mine, so I don't dislike that. Oh,
Yeah.
and then this is kind of rude.
That's PM. All right. Musk coming in again to raid and gonna force the villagers back. And indeed, WickedCossack's herding being maybe not on point there. Although he's shipping 700 food probably to a job, so he's gonna be alright for the time being in terms of hunts. He also has some berries and he's eating a yak. But yeah, ultimately, this hunt situation is not gonna be too good for Wicked there. I have to say we didn't quite check the hunts, to be fair, but I think with that hunt it was fine for Wicked. He just did not herd it.
Yeah, I briefly looked at it and it looked even-ish, though I did not. I didn't give it like too much thought. And then a villager does go down. 2nd villager.
Yeah, indeed, and a 3rd one pathing on the wrong side of the stable here. Yeah.
Oh, that is quite the hurt.
Right.
Wicked did click up though, so yeah, I don't know. 3 villagers in that engagement was extremely good for SoldieR, no doubt. And then this quick little push here.
Oh, and Wicked not quite reacting and getting caught here. And there's maybe not quite enough units for Wicked unless he calls Minutemen, but it's gonna be a bit late. Oh, wait, Minutemen are here actually already.
Yeah.
So this isn't too bad for Wicked. Maybe he can hold that pressure. Sort of okay. There's just enough skirms to deal some damage to the musks. And 9 Ritters should definitely deal with that. More skirms though, not sure. I feel like maybe Wicked wanted to cancel that because they might die to the hussars, although with Minutemen is probably okay. SoldieR committing to fighting the Minutemen, so these guys are gonna pay off, and for what? I mean, there's still the skirms alive, so I'm not sure what. Oh, but the skirms are getting too close to the musks here.
The skirmishers were actually fighting the Hussar for a little bit, like not helping out, but not excessively well. I think SoldieR got some value out of that engagement.
But still, quite a good trade overall, I think, because just Wicked does not die, right? I mean, he's just aged and he's fine, and he killed 11 musks and 5 huss for less than that, actually. He's got a pretty good trade in terms of military. The only problem is that, yeah, he did lose 3 vills, and he also had to cut quite a few banks. He's on only 3 banks, which is not the worst, but it's not ideal, for sure, far from that. So, Brits is quite a bit ahead in eco.
Yeah, Dutch have their 3rd age shipments and units available, so they have that going for them. But at some point, they're gonna have to push out onto this map, and I don't know that SoldieR will allow that to happen.
Right. We'll have to see. SoldieR now adding longbows, which is the correct answer to Ritters and also to skirms. It's pretty much what you need. You can't really go musk huss against skirm Ritter. Skirm Ritter being kind of even better than Skirm Goon. It just feels like on EP Ritters are stronger than Goons because Goons have less range resist now, and Ritters they just sort of kill Cav faster somehow. I don't know, less overkill maybe, just better split fire because they're smaller units. I don't know, but they do just great. So you really need your longbows, and longbows are indeed great against this unit composition. And looks like SoldieR is gonna try to pressure a bit with these. However, if 8 skirms pop, which is probably what's going to happen next, I think Wicked will be able to deal with the longbows quite nicely.
Yep. Explorer going down, which is not bad. Here, those the 8 skirmisher shipment, as you correctly called. So yeah, looks like he's making his push out into the map, trying to get some value out of his better units.
Yeah.
We'll see how this engagement goes.
Yeah, it's maybe
because
not quite
everything here is dead weight for SoldieR, right? Except for the longbowmen, but even then, the longbowmen are kind of like outnumbered by the skirmishers.
Right. And longbows
do
good, but yeah, you need a lot of them, kind of. But I think SoldieR's got just enough of them. Wicked might want to go in and snipe some longbows with his Ritters, actually. Because at this point, if you want to win the ranged infantry war, you have to maybe commit a bit to fighting longbows with your ranged cav. Adding some hussars, which is also one way to deal with that. Another way would be to build an artillery foundry and falconets, which could be interesting here, but it's quite hard, quite expensive.
Yeah, I don't think he can afford that for sure.
Within 1k wood, yeah, which he might not be able to afford.
These villagers are also somewhat exposed. I feel like SoldieR kind of has the muscle to maybe push up north.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Some hussar coming out. They are not yet upgraded.
Oh, there was a Hun here. Actually, I didn't see that. Okay, good. So now we're sure that Wicked was not map screwed, actually, if he's got still a Hun here on the left. Sorry, I kind of cut you. What were you saying?
Just talking about the veteran upgrade for the hussar, which no, he just clicked on. So yeah. So I don't know both.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm
all right. I think we can expect 4 hussar. That's all I wanted to say. I think we can see 4 huss now gonna pop because he's getting the veterancy. And he does need that sort of cav switch to deal with the longbow, because the longbow mass has been growing quite a lot. And so that's when these units are not going to be a dead weight anymore, the Musk and Huss, right? They will be here just to cover the longbows pretty much.
Yep. So 2 villagers going down. SoldieR is pretty diligent about making sure that, for example, these 3 hunts right here cannot be harvested by Wicked. I really enjoy that. The 4 hussar coming down, as you said. And now it's going to be these upgraded cavalry units against the sheer mass of the British player.
Yeah, and this is looking just quite good for SoldieR. I mean, Dutch not being able to afford a bank, just sort of being contained here, but the fight is going to happen. I think this is go time for Wicked. It's kind of now or never. He has to take this fight. And the Ritters are sniping the hussars nicely, but maybe I don't think it's going to be enough for Dutch. I think this is going to be tough. Maybe not the greatest positioning for Wicked here. And most of the Ritters are going down, and that's a problem now. There's not going to be quite enough anti-cav maybe to deal with these Huss. I mean, they will die, but meanwhile the Musk are just catching up and going to be able to DPS everything down, and the longbows as well. Oh, although 3 more Huss coming in from a weird angle here, but yeah, just going to run into the Musks and the Hussars. And yeah, it's not looking too good for Dutch, is it?
It is not. The Dutch does not even have the room to kite back as much as they would. They're going to hit the edge of the map pretty quickly here. And Musketeer hit points coming down for SoldieR as well. Kind of right on top of the economy is where the Dutch army will fall. So that should be really the nail in the coffin for WickedCossack at this point.
Yeah, this is just GG. Brits are just way too behind now, and all the villas are dead, so I guess there might be a shipment on the way. Yeah, 7 skirms gonna pop, and Wicked will try to just fight with villas and some units, but it's not gonna be enough.
Indeed, not enough is just the way you put it at this point. Some skirmishers up here, some skirmishers down here, but
Yeah,
That was
GG.
too much, and GG is called. Some really good play out of SoldieR on this one.
Yeah, and that is pretty much how the matchup goes. Although his open Musk, which is maybe not ideal, but still was fine as Wicked open Huss himself. And you have to play, you kind of have to outplay as Dutch, honestly, to win this matchup. And Wicked didn't really outplay, so he just lost. Like, you kind of need to pull some sick defense and then just turtle and probably go Falks, honestly. You kind of have to get Falks to deal with the longbows because you can't really get enough Huss to really clean up. And yeah, that was just a solid play from SoldieR and gonna take the lead in this series 2-1 now. After a sort of sloppy start from SoldieR in this game one we had, now just winning 2 games in a row and looking pretty good for Team NA here.
Yeah, so Soldier's doing pretty well. I liked that he was able to take the map so effectively in the early game in that last matchup, and then just hold on to it until Dutch was just out of room and out of resources.
Yeah.
Truly just some good, solid, basic Age of Empires 3 concepts that
Right.
he's applying so well.
Also, did you notice that explorer on the right of the native settlement, just making sure he's getting line of sight everywhere? So this was a full contain. I mean, when you look at this mini-map, it's like the dream for Brits. He's got stuff everywhere. He's got like manuals and villas everywhere on the map. The whole map for himself, got line of sight everywhere, and just containing so much that tower getting full line of sight between the cliff and the native settlement. And then the explorer making sure no raid or no sneaky builds can go on the right. So that was just solid play from SoldieR here, indeed. And that's going to be 2-1, and we'll move on to the game 4 in this series.
Game 4, which will be played on Arkansas, and it will actually be a spoiler alert German mirror.
Oh, interesting. Yep. So yeah, Wicked, if you cannot beat them, join them, right? Just not really sure what else to play after his auto performance wasn't quite up to quite enough to beat SoldieR's Germany. Wicked just deciding to mirror, and Wicked did start playing some Germany sort of recently, but it's definitely not one of his best tips. He's had quite a bad record in tournaments with Germany so far. So let's see if Wicked can impress us now with some solid German gameplay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. To be fair, the Ottoman versus Germany game was a very, very solid attempt out of Wicked, I say, because he had the advantage for the most of the game until that famous pop happened. So yeah, I'm interested to see.
When we think about it again, he was maybe just sieging on the wrong side. I feel like, if I remember correctly, the Jans were sieging the racks, but right under TC instead of being as far as possible, which is usually what you do. You stay as far as possible from the town center, exactly to avoid that kind of stuff happening. Because just imagine if he was like a few meters or tiles away from where he was and just sieging from the other side, then the dubs would not get to connect that quickly and snare. But yeah, that was another game. So let's focus on this one now. And we have a wood start, so that's going to be good for boss players. So it doesn't really matter in the mirror. And indeed, on the right side of the map, we have WickedCossack playing in the color red as Germany. And on the other side, SoldieR also Germany in the color blue. And both of these players actually miss macroing directly. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit picky being a main German player myself, but when you have 300 food, 200 wood start, you want to set all 3 settler wagons to wood and herd with your villagers, as it's just the best way to get your house in time, and also you don't have to herd with settler wagons then, which is quite painful. Not sure what that refers to.
I think he's talking about the TP pass. I think he managed to just barely get the first pass. I was actually watching it, and it was too close for me to actually call it.
All right. Yeah,
but yes,
he did get the first pass, which usually you don't get actually on this map.
On the SoldieR side?
On the left side, you don't get the first pass usually, or you have to be very lucky, and your explorer needs to spawn like here, like as close as possible, because it spawns kind of randomly around your TC. And this time, I guess he's just got a lucky spawn and got the pass just in time. So that is pretty good for him for sure.
That's awesome. And then another good thing going for SoldieR is him picking up this 95 wood treasure almost immediately after getting that first pass.
Oh, no, it's
I
gonna be just
I
too
don't think
late. Yeah.
he hasn't scouted. Oh, it's going to be so close.
No, well,
But
just enough that SoldieR gets it. But yeah, he does get the wood, but now he will be extremely low HP, if not just dead soon.
yeah, getting the wood and then getting pushed off of the map. I think Wicked salvaged the situation as best he could.
Yeah. However, it's still pretty good for SoldieR. I mean, even if you're only gonna get 95 wood in H1, you can't complain too much because it's just such a solid treasure. And yeah, SoldieR doing a good job at escaping, although he's gonna get snared again. But probably gonna be okay unless Wicked forces it. I mean, you can keep snaring, right? Because are you really gonna build goddamn settler wagons in your TC to shoot at this explorer? Like, it's so expensive to do that. Then you age so late. So I think Wicked is gonna force it, and I like it. A lot of players are really shy in H1 with the explorer, but you can actually keep just keep like fighting, and yeah, in the worst case this happens and he's gonna pull so many settler wagons in, and it's so much idle time, and it's not even gonna be enough to actually kill the red explorer. So that is a lot of resources lost.
Yeah, for sure. That how much time was that? Was that like 5, maybe 10 seconds of idle time just to push away this red explorer who was being such a bully? I guess SoldieR does manage to like keep this explorer out on the map, but with 43 HP, I don't know that he will get many value out of treasure gathering at this point.
Yeah, why did he wait until he was so low HP to do that? Because now he's got an essentially useless explorer. I mean, what is he gonna even pick up? I guess he might micro well and get that, but you know that, yeah, it's not that insane. However, we have to keep in mind that somehow they age up at the same time, so Wicked must have screwed up somewhere. I mean, he must have mismacroed his herding or something. I don't know, because Wicked should age earlier than SoldieR here, but yeah.
Yeah, he has a few seconds on him, but not enough for it to realistically matter. However, Wicked is picking up this amazing CDB treasure. So really coming back, and I'd say he's doing extremely well in H1, all things considered.
Yeah, although he did not get... what did he get so far? Wicked literally got only 40 and 50 gold so far, but yeah, that CDB will definitely make up for that. And he microed it quite nicely as well, barely lost any HP there. So yeah, overall, quite a solid H1 for Wicked here.
Absolutely. Market going down for SoldieR, and I don't... Oh, I'm so sorry. There is a market for WickedCossack as well. So both... All things considered, everything is almost dead even as of this point.
Yeah. Well, that CDB is not going to be even, but everything else is pretty much. Oh, I never noticed that. I actually see the CDB in purple because I'm purple. Interesting.
Yeah, it shows up as your color when it's on the treasure, and then it converts to the color of whoever picks it up afterwards.
I never paid attention to that. I thought it was just always brown, kind of, but yeah, weird. Like, no, I guess. Now that Tomahawk is well, okay. Anyway, what else can we say about that?
Let's see, Barracks going down for Wicked and Stable going down for SoldieR.
Yeah. It's always interesting. It's a matchup where boss buildings are sort of viable. Stable being maybe a little bit standard nowadays, but racks also something we see quite a lot. But in base racks is always a bit sad. I don't know what he's gonna really do here with these doppels, because he's gonna go for doppels, right? But
I wouldn't make any other unit in this matchup out of Barracks at this point in the game.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, so I guess Wicked is kind of posturing for like a more defensive, in a more defensive position, just putting out some dobs to prevent the Ulans from really doing anything, and then just heading to the next stage is how I see this.
Yeah, you can get away with doing only a few dobs and aging. Oh, two Ulans gonna get caught here by SoldieR. Nice pickup. But yeah, you can sort of just make like 3 dobs or something and then age, and it looks like it's exactly what Wicked is doing. Even 2 dobs, because 1 dob kills an infinite amount of Ulans. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. It's never really worth fighting dobs with Ulans, no matter how many you've got. But yeah, so he's gonna just defend the raids with that. But SoldieR, if he scouted the in-base barracks, could have also just gone FF, right? Just yeah, you're going in base with dobs. What are you gonna do? It's not scary. I'm just gonna age myself. But SoldieR is in fact trading more Ulans, so this is gonna be quite good for Wicked. Even though he did lose to Ulans there, but he's gonna be able to age quite a bit earlier than SoldieR in this matchup. Although SoldieR has the 700 wood, which is very nice for Germany. Germany needs a lot of pop space with all these Ulans, and skipping 700 wood is always a bit painful.
Yeah, look at WickedCossack, who did exactly that. Did skip the 700 wood, and now he has 13 of his villagers on gathering wood as of right now.
Yeah, and without Gangsa as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. However, catching 2 Ulans now, so just making up for that early loss. And oh, no, Novil's dying, I believe.
I did not.
Nope.
Nope, no villagers have gone down. Some idle time, for sure, but then these two doppelsoldiers just scaring away 3 times their value in worth of cavalry.
Oh yeah, and even killing 2 more Ulans here, not losing a settler wagon. SoldieR's doing a rather good job at multitasking, but still not quite enough to do anything against these 2 goddamn doppels there. I mean, they're just so scary. Like, he's running just 10, 12 Ulans away. I mean, now it's 8, but it was like 12 Ulans running away from 2 dops. And Wicked killing 1 more Ulan there. Good. I think this is played pretty solidly by Wicked, actually. I mean, look at that. So much trouble for SoldieR.
Oh, look at these 2 doppels up here snaring those Ulans. Oh,
yeah,
that is
and
quite painful.
and Ulan's popping from 1k wood, just catching. I mean, what the hell? Like, Wicked just made almost the units and went straight to age 3, but he's still cleaning up so many Ulans from SoldieR, and SoldieR is up so much later with just less units. And why? I mean, Wicked also
13.
gets away with 1k wood. 13 Ulans dead. Oh wow.
These 13 Ulans have died to these 4 doppelsoldiers, and I think that kind of puts WickedCossack into a commanding lead. He just has so much space to do whatever he wants now, because all the resources invested into the Ulans from SoldieR are just gone now, and they didn't get any value except for maybe the CDB.
Yeah, it's even worse. Yeah, definitely catching that CDB. It's even worse because you want to tech your Ulans to veteran, and when you lose them before they get teched, then it's obviously even less value out of these Ulans. They would be even better in H3. So yeah, it's just very sad for SoldieR at this point. Like, he killed a CDB, so now the eco is even. It's not even like he's ahead because that was a free CDB anyway, and he's just lost 10 more cav. Yeah. And he's aging up way later. And sure, Wicked did not get to ship 700 wood, which can be annoying as Germany, but he just got away easily with shipping 1k wood himself. So that is just such a good spot for Wicked to be in, and it's reflected in the scores. Although obviously SoldieR will catch up a bit in score now. Oh, wow, Black Riders, that's really solid though. That's one hell of a power spike. First shipment, Black Riders, interesting.
That is an interesting shipment, because the amount of I guess Wicked has built up his Ulan count as of right now.
Oh, and that unit composition is just so much better for SoldieR here. The only thing is that there's 4 dops, and it's not going to be extremely easy to kill the dops. And he doesn't have quite enough Ulans. I think if SoldieR can get more Ulans, then what do you do against Black Rider Ulan as Germany? You block with your own Ulans, and then they just die to Black Riders? Do you just make War Wagons? But War Wagons are just quite bad. Dubs even worse. What do? You kind of need your own Black Riders or Skirm War Wagon maybe. But even Skirm War Wagon just gets sort of Z moved by a lot of Ulans really. So that is a good unit composition from SoldieR, but then again, Wicked was so ahead that I'm not sure it's gonna matter.
I feel like I feel like Wicked is going to identify that he needs his own Black Riders. Oh, I spoke too soon. He invested all that coin into Ulans and now just has 20 Ulans on the field.
Yeah,
I
I don't think he saw the Black Riders, right? So he
No, I don't
doesn't
think he
know.
did. And so now he has like all these. He has 13 skirms and 4 dops against 9 Black Riders because both players have 20 Ulans. Some War Wagons coming out, but as you said, not the best unit in this situation.
And look at that. SoldieR not quite finding the vills, but almost just checking on that gold mine in the bottom and also going on top. So just sort of containing here, just making sure Germany doesn't, Wicked doesn't access these extra gold mines. Dops not going to be enough here, and that is going to be maybe a big raid. And Wicked just sending his entire mass for the Uhlans here. That is
Oh
terrible
my
for Wicked
god.
Cossack. Holy moly. That was big. Losing 4 dubs for not much, and then losing
He
8 vills basically.
yeah, he lost so many villagers in that engagement. Um,
Oh,
Picking up an Ulan over here, but I think that Red
yeah.
Soldier was just so powerful. If anything is going to bring him uh, into a more equalized state of the game, it's going to be stuff like that.
I really hope SoldieR just trains pure Ulan now and ships Cav Combat and Z moves and win the game. I mean, it's just Ulans are so good in this matchup, and Black Riders are also so good. So the unit composition of SoldieR is pretty much ideal at this point. Although he does need sort of more Ulan, but yeah, like this unit composition from Wiki looks nice, like the standard 3 unit, Skirm, Warbag, and Ulan. It's nice and all, but really, when the other player just brings 100 Ulans on your face, like you just die really. And more
And
skirms, which is not what you want. You don't want that many skirms in the German mirror, 7 skirms, and I think the next fight is going to be quite tough for Wicked. Maybe 8 Ulan. Well, not Cav combat; it's an alternative, I guess, but still, that's a lot of Cav. Like, ooh.
uh, almost picking off one of the Black Riders. These Black Riders are a staple part of this composition, but there we go. There's the engagement, and
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for Wicked, but really, just more Ulans and the Black Riders are so superior compared to War Wagons, and that's a big Z move, and I think SoldieR is gonna clean this up. Maybe not actually. It's much closer than I expected. Maybe.
yeah,
Wow,
those
actually Wicked winning. Wow, I'm very surprised. Don't know
so
what
many
happened.
War Wagons are actually still up. I think it maybe had to do with the fact that SoldieR had very little, if any, skirmishers in that fight. A few went
Oh,
down there.
imagine if these Ulans were in the fight. That is the problem, actually. That is why.
Oh,
I was looking at the graphs and like, yeah, okay, it's sort of even, but SoldieR has the best unit composition. But in fact, a lot of his Ulans were just not in the fight, unfortunately. Even got one more here randomly. So that is not too good for SoldieR. But he
yeah.
did kill a lot of vills, actually. Wait, what? How many?
Uh,
Another settler wagon and 7 vills.
that was quite the amount. I feel like that was some excellent rating out of SoldieR,
Yeah.
but Wicked Cossack, as of right now, has such a large military mass
Yeah,
that he could
then
possibly translate into an economic advantage by just, for example, engagement coming down here. That is a lot of Ulans from SoldieR.
yeah, you have to keep in mind that the skirmishes from Wicked are sort of useless. They don't counter anything here. So again, the unit composition of SoldieR is better. He's got some skirms to snap the war wagons and some Ulans to kill everything else. But not the best engagement here from SoldieR. Just his skirms lagging behind, just sending all his Ulans too far ahead, really. Just and Wicked is gonna clean this up again, probably. Although it's yeah, he will clean this up and. Uh, SoldieR just taking bad fights, really. Even though he could really win this game there, he's just taking pretty bad fights. But still, it's a game. I mean, he's so far ahead in eco, he might just somehow.
Well,
I don't
if
know.
he if Wicked makes a beeline for those villagers down there, which is like what he's
Oh
doing,
yeah,
he may just uh, completely cut the legs out from underneath of SoldieR and take
yeah,
revenge for all the villagers that he lost earlier.
right. Just coming back in the game. What a nice comeback from Wicked, and I think it's looking very tough for SoldieR at this point. And 3 more wagons coming in as well. I feel like the only thing that can save SoldieR now is the Jaegers, but unfortunately he's not gathering any gold because he's being pushed so hard. Now he's gathering, but it's a long way to the 1k gold. Oh, that is another big raid. German mirrors are always so bloody.
Yes, yes, they are. It must suck to be a villager playing for Germany.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, though, oh my god, the Wicked is almost out of villagers, actually.
Yeah, out of villages. I never heard that, but it's quite accurate, actually.
He 10 villagers and 4 settler wagons left. SoldieR has exactly double the economy of Wicked Cossack as of this point.
Yeah, so all he needs to do is not waste too many Olans. Oh, come on, just pull them away. And then he might just buy enough time to be okay here. Yeah, but he's gonna lose a lot of Ulans, so, you know, he can't afford to waste units at this point. Because most important thing here is not the eco, it's the actual map control. Because if you have a bunch of villas but you cannot access any gold mines, it sucks for you. Although SoldieR did sneak an outpost and some villas here in the bottom, and he does have, for the time being, access to this gold mine. But surely Wicked will now just push this. But I feel like SoldieR has the Jaegers on the way, probably.
If Wicked does not make a powerful play here, which is to push all these villagers off of this coin mine and take advantage of his military, SoldieR should eventually win this game.
Right, and the tower barely just going up, so I am quite sure SoldieR has Jaegers on the way because he delayed his shipment by so. No, wait, no, he shipped more wagons actually. Just never mind. Yeah, but they're gonna die, so it's actually a bad raid from SoldieR here.
Yeah,
I think this is looking really bad for SoldieR. However, just only the skills being here, Wicked doesn't really feel comfortable pressuring anymore. He's like, yeah, let's not waste our military advantage. Just go back and wait for more stuff to come. But now it's gonna be a big right click. What is gonna save this situation? 5
Ulans.
Why not calf combat though?
Desperation. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
or even like 1,000 coin.
What the hell? I mean, you get 3 Ulans for free. Why would you ship 5 Ulans? It's like a 2 Ulan shipment at this point. Like calf combat would be so much better. But okay, well, interesting.
Yeah, that is actually a very, very interesting shipment from Wicked. It's perhaps like, recognizing that the only thing he has going for him right now is his military, so just trying to go for 5 Ulans instead of 3, even though the value is skewed. I don't know.
Yeah, would you rather have 3 calf combat Ulans plus calf combat on all your army, or just 5 Ulans? I think calf combat is much better, but well, either way, that is I'm not sure I'm not sure he should attack the Vils, but yeah, it probably just doesn't matter at this point. And so you're gonna just call the GG. What a game! German mirrors are always pretty entertaining, in my opinion. One of the actually entertaining mirrors in this game.
That was yes, that was an excellent game. Really down to the wire in so many ways. I was thinking about, Jaegers from Wicked Cossack as well, how he still had that option on the table, but it ended up not using it at all during this game.
Pretty hard to gather for Jaegers when you're sitting on 20 vills. Probably.
I mean, just look at the villager graph.
Yeah, that is huge. SoldieR, Wicked did also raid some, but he was quite behind for most of the game in the eco. But yeah, just look at these fights in the military pop. I mean, SoldieR was ahead by a bit, and again, I do believe he had the better unit composition there, and he just somehow lost most of the fights, which is just very unfortunate for him. Yeah, and imagine if he didn't lose a bunch of Ulans for free in Colonial, how much easier this would have been for SoldieR, just having an extra 10 Ulans or so.
Yeah, and also the Ulans that were out of position that one fight where it was Ulans and Black Riders against the Cossacks army. Those would have definitely tipped the game, I think, in SoldieR's favor. Yeah,
SoldieR would have most definitely won if only he would have used his Ulans there. So you can add like 7 Ulans that were raiding or something, or even 8, because there were some AFK Ulans randomly on the map. And then you can also add the 10 Ulans he deleted in H2. And then when you look at it this way, you're like, yeah, no way SoldieR would have lost that, right? But he did. He did take bad fights, and even though he was quite ahead, he just lost the game. So yeah, GG, good game.
It was a really enjoyable game, and I believe that takes the score up to 2-2. So we're at match point, and then this play all five is still up in the air as to who wins it.
Right. So at this point, it's gonna be anyway a close result. But who is gonna pull the 3-2? We'll have to see. So I believe SoldieR has to pick first. No, Wicked has to pick first, actually. And yeah, the map is indeed Jebel Musa in this last game.
Portuguese or India are the two civilizations. I don't know if you joined the game early enough to see that chat, but those
No,
are
I
the
did
two.
not. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Those are those are the two civilizations that Wicked Cossack is considering right now. Most bar.
Yeah, talking about Germany here. People sometimes call it the Moisbar sieve because you spawn some Ulans.
Yeah.
But a Moisbar mirror is still mirror, so it's fair, right?
Of course. As they both have access to the most bar hack.
Right.
It's fair in which case.
Shipping 9 plus 8 Ulans. Well, SoldieR also did. Yeah, this game really went so wrong for SoldieR, I can't believe it. He did everything he had to do to just not win it. It's a bit depressing, really. Especially since it's Soldier's main civ, and he's definitely much more experienced in German mirrors than Wicked is. And I think that's also a tough blow for Soldier's morale at this point. Just losing
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
like, if there's one matchup where you wouldn't believe WickedCossack would win, I think it's this one probably, just because yeah, he doesn't play much Germany and SoldieR plays a lot of Germany, but yeah, pretty good winning by Wicked here. And so let's see, India or Ports, gotta flip a coin. I think the problem for India on this map is that the starting trees are extremely far. I'm not gonna tell Wicked about it. I'm not supposed to advise him here, but I think Ports might be better just because of that.
Yeah, I also kind of want to see ports, as we already saw India earlier, and Portuguese on a water map is, say what you will, but it is a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, I don't have much fun playing against it, but I think
Oh,
it makes
dude,
for fun games. Yeah.
I am. Nothing made me rage harder when I was still playing the game than water sieves on water.
Yeah. And
Fetch port. There we go. I also feel like maybe Portuguese on this map will be sort of stronger than India on this map.
possibly, yeah. It's, I don't know, because India is also WickedCossack's main civ, so that's another thing to take into account, right? Regardless of the strength of the civilizations here, he's quite comfortable with ports. It's probably his second civ, but India is just his first civ. So
Yeah, it's super strong.
also,
Indian player. It looks like. I'm sorry, you were saying?
no, go ahead.
I think SoldieR is going to opt for British against the Portuguese.
Yeah, that is also a thing. It's what I was gonna say. It's that maybe ports are a little bit easier to counter than India. Like,
Yeah,
India can be countered by stuff maybe like Otto or Hero, but not as hard maybe as Brits counter ports. Although on water it's a bit mitigated because ports are arguably better at water than Brits, but it's still quite the matchup, quite a tough matchup for ports.
I think we're going to see some strong water play out of both of these players because I just went and checked Soldier's decks prior to clicking in on this map, and he's got a deck that is pretty stacked up with water cards.
Yeah, and SoldieR is the kind of guy who just commits to water, to taking a water deck. Like, I know that when he has a water deck, usually he doesn't just have two caravels. He's got like offshore support, warship combat, two caravels, a frigate, and so on. So yeah. Anyway, we do have on the top right corner of this map, SoldieR in the color blue playing the British. Up against WickedCossack in the opposite corner of the map playing in the color red as ports, and that is a food start, which is probably just very good for ports here, because a wood start means you can't really do much with your wood as ports, while Brits get an extra house or market or whatever. Kind of the same for a coin start. Ports can't really do much in age 1. So should be glad to just get that extra 100 food and age up a little bit earlier, and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Wicked has found the 90 wood treasure. I think one of the best treasures on this map, from what I can see.
Yeah, the other really good treasure that sometimes spawn but did not spawn this time is the 100 foot treasure. These are the Deccan treasures, basically. You get the same on Deccan. So just 100 foot, 90 wood. Actually, it's the same treasures as on Bengal, which we already watched. So there's some 50 wood treasures. All the big treasures are next to the water, and there's some small treasures along the TP line, and nothing on the plateau. And so we still see a nice 50 coin, a nice 50 wood. And yeah, that 70 food was nice for SoldieR as well, but not as good maybe as the 90 wood for ports.
Yeah, for sure. And then SoldieR, ooh, I like it. He was starting to work on the 80 coin treasure, but then scouted the 50 wood treasure and just took it instantly.
Yep. It's just such a good treasure. I mean, 50 wood for a crack shot is so good. And SoldieR just needs to stop treasuring that. But I think he was kind of baiting WickedCossack into trying to stay here a little bit longer to deny the gold treasure, while in fact SoldieR has more HP on his Explorer, so he's able to push WickedCossack away.
You know, I could be wrong, but I feel like Wicked may have not scouted the 80 coin treasure, period.
Probably, but I'm quite confident he saw the tigers, even if he did not see the treasure. But now you see, did you see that? I don't know if you have Fog of War toggled, but
I do.
You know, when you see a treasure, it's that little line of sight around it. And we just saw that now, so it means Wicked actually spyglassed it. He spyglassed just now the 80 coin actually, so interesting. He knows about it for sure now, but yeah, now we're gonna go on the other side and just gonna find a Gorka. Might just crack shot one of these, but no, he's not gonna do that. Meanwhile, SoldieR working on that 65 gold treasure here. So yeah, not much left on the map at this point, just a few coin treasures in the bottom and
interestingly,
gold.
SoldieR did just use a crack shot on one of the macaques. Which is, I guess for the tempo, it's not such a bad idea, but it also means that he doesn't have crack shot available if this treasure gets started. Arguably, that's probably true. Doesn't matter, but
yeah, I guess he just assumed that anyway. He's not going to be able to pick up that 80 coin just because Wicked knows about it, and he maybe did not feel comfortable going for it anyway. So he feels like his crack shot is maybe pretty worthless at this point, and he might as well use it on that macaque. But either way, let's check the decks actually, because that's quite important on water maps. And we do have a funny deck from Wicked. Only four colonial cards here. He does have some, not that much water cards actually. Might just ignore no, he's not ignoring the water. He's going for his patented Eco Theory, 700 wood, 700 gold, 2 docks, FF. Probably.
There's not even schooners in this. That's really interesting to me.
He goes just Eco Theory, which is honestly just inferior compared to schooners. But either way, Eco Theory does affect your fishing boats, so that's the gist of it, right? You just ship it and it doesn't affect only your villas, but also the fishing boats, so you can still have a nice boom. And then outpost. Yeah. So aggressive there. I wonder if Wicked is gonna wall up now. No, that villa's walking back. Alright.
Does Wicked see it?
No, it's not placed yet, so he does not. The wagon is on the way. He might see this dock though. I'm not sure if that's in line of sight of his own dock, and he will surely see the outpost now. So I wonder if this is just a caravel rush. Yeah, so gonna train 1 caravel and ship 2, and just gonna try to shut down that water boom instantly. However, since Wicked did not commit to shipping schooners, he doesn't care all that much maybe about his docks. I mean, if you trade 2 docks and 2 fishing boats for like SoldieR training 3 caravels and building his own dock, it's not too bad. And meanwhile, you can age maybe.
Yeah, does he like completely abandon water at this point, for example? Because SoldieR invested so much into
Yeah.
this caravel rush. Just leave the water be and then just transition to land where you have invested much less than your opponent has.
Yeah, I think at this point, if I was Wicked, I would just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. That my plan was to water boom. I cannot water boom anymore, but at least he invested a lot. But in fact, Wicked is just gonna ship.
Oh no, he contests it.
He's just gonna ship 2 caravels, and the docks are maybe not as good as the tower, but still do some damage for sure. And that one caravel is gonna get sniped by the dock. I'm pretty sure. No, it's just what the hell?
Outside.
Nah, that was just sort of a bug. This is really unfortunate, actually. I hate this bug. Sometimes the caravels just shoot at infinite range, pretty much. And just sniping that sucks, really. Because that Vel should have lived, and it's just dead now. Unfortunate.
That was, that's a game changer, too.
Yeah. Although there's still that tower, so SoldieR can still go for the docks. I kind of question why SoldieR did not start attacking the docks earlier. He's been dancing a lot around with his caravels, but I feel like he could... Like, this is a safe spot to kill a dock, right? If you're in that choke with your dock behind and the tower, it's pretty hard for Wicked to do anything about it. But, well, either way, he does get 1 dock down. But also 2 caravels first is sort of painful for Brits. You like to ship that 700 wood and get your manors down. He's only on 40 manor pop now, which is ridiculously low. So yeah.
Both players like delaying their economy. I guess I think Wicked has the tools to maybe actually get his water boom going. 3 caravels to 3 caravels. The tower there. Some pikemen coming out as well. This is interesting.
Where? Oh, he's got a barracks here. That looks kind of nice with like the 2 docks on both side of the trading of the TP line and the barracks and all that stuff here. And SoldieR water booming himself. So now he's got basically 1 dock dedicated to training caravels on one side and 1 dock dedicated to training fishing boats. It's interesting. And gonna sort of contain Wicked in that corner here. He's got some fish for the time being, but at some point he's gonna run out of fish.
I think something that is funny, if nothing else, are these pikemen just sieging down this town center.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that.
I think it's pretty good for Wicked actually, because yeah, finally SoldieR moving into cover mode. So these pikemen are going to be a little bit more efficient against TC fire. But I mean, let's face it, are you going to get that TC down like ever by sieging down with spikes? No. So why not just send them all in cover mode actually? Oh, yeah. That's a lot. 5 caravels, but then again it's a big reaction here from Wicked. It's expensive. But then he can clean up that side of the water if he ever scouts it. But he might not imagine that SoldieR is water booming himself. But yeah, go ahead.
He had 5 caravels against the 3 of SoldieR and just instantly took one of them out. I feel like Cossack is actually going to clean up the water here.
Gonna lose one of his caravels though. Could have pulled it back, but yeah, definitely. And also committing to shipping improved warships. So now it's the other way around. I would feel okay here as SoldieR just giving up the water, because 5 caravels and improved warships is just such a huge investment. But again, yeah, I just wanted to point out, that why would you not just siege the TC with cover mode pikes? I guess he wanted to get that extra siege damage in, but I don't know if that TC will ever go down like that. More Musks just getting sniped. TC fire doing pretty good against these units here, but meanwhile Wicked is just so idled. And let's also talk about the fact that Wicked has only 6 fishing boats. Just because he committed so much to defending the water, he didn't actually get to water boom just yet. So, yeah.
He has very few fishing boats. He has actually I'm going to eat those words. I was going to say he has less population than his opponent, but that's not true anymore. But nonetheless, he is on berries. He's kind of stuck in here, and he has absolutely no units, no land units to his name to defend against the Musketeers, the Hussar, and what have you.
Oh, and look at that. 3 barracks from SoldieR, kind of assuming that barracks here would go down, but it did actually not. So that's sort of a useless third racks for now. Nice from Wicked, just checking that there's nothing left on the water, and he's gonna find a dock and probably gonna pull all of his fleet there, or maybe gonna let some of them repair and just pull one. But yeah, he's gonna probably just clean up the dock. And Wicked is aging already.
Yeah, that's what he definitely needed. He could not afford to stay in age 2. But he's going to get his dock boom going. He's going to finally get his age up going. So after that water skirmish, I want to say, the game is sort of normalizing where we've got the Portuguese with sea control and then the British with land map control. And we'll have to see how this actually pans out.
Yeah. It does look pretty good for Wicked at this point, although this TC... oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that... I don't know. Wicked can call Minutemen probably and just be okay. Yeah, he's gonna call one set of Minutemen, maybe a second one, but that TC is most likely gonna go down. Minutemen kind of focusing the wrong units, not just defending the new TC, but it's a painful...
Oh, and it does go down.
It's sort of a painful TC kill here for... I don't know. Like, he lost a lot of units, and the follow-up is gonna be tough, because when Wicked gets even 5 Dragoon shipment, he will hold that.
Yeah, 5 Dragoons looks like beats infinite amount of soldier stuff at this point. Though some pikemen coming in to siege that town center, I actually realistically could see the second TC going down.
Yeah, I don't think it can not go down. I mean, it has to go down at this point. Even if units pop as SoldieR, you probably just force it and keep sieging, right? I don't think that TC is gonna stay up.
Easiest right click in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is when actually sieging with non-cover mode pikes, like doing the full damage, makes sense. In fact, what he did earlier made it so that the TC was low HP now, and he's gonna retreat before Wicked has a chance to ship these goons. And that is a very sad point when you port and you click up and you end up having one less TC instead of one more. It happens sometimes. It doesn't feel very good. It's okay because he's got the water, so he's gonna get extra eco anyway, but it's still very painful for Wicked, and I'm not sure he's ever gonna be able to stabilize on land after that, because now he's gonna get more idled even more, not having any military building up.
Yeah, he's nowhere close to it either. He's chopping some wood pretty frantically at this point. But these longbowmen are the perfect units from SoldieR, even though there are only 10 of them, and this is like 13 minutes into the game. This is where we're at.
And that's when you're a bit sad as Wicked that you probably overreacted to the water and made like 5 caravel ship, improv warships, and all that stuff. Oh, the last hope fort going down. Wicked somehow hoping it's gonna go up, but maybe it will actually with the Vils. I don't know. There's pretty much only longbows here, so. This is so
yes, this is quite the game. Let's see. It looks like the 2 Hussar are the last units with lots of siege available, and then these villagers are actually clubbing down the longbowmen.
What is going on, man? But more long. I don't think SoldieR should keep sieging. I mean, he's losing so many longbows to the Vils, actually. This is a really good micro here from Wicked, just punching the longbows down, and longbows die really fast to melee attacks, even from Vils. Look at that. Almost one hitting the longbow. Why is SoldieR committing to siege so much? And now
he's not gonna... Yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna get the fort, and he didn't. Some pikemen coming in, though.
Oh no, but they just die in one shot of the fort. Look at that. Why? Just give up that fort already. Who cares? You can just age yourself, get falconets, and just come back and get all these base down. But I guess he will get the fort down though. So even though it's a terrible trade for SoldieR, then there's just not much less for Wicked anyway to defend his base, right? So even it was an expensive port, but.
Was it worth it though? Like the value Wicked got out of the fort by killing all these units.
But it's one of these situations where even though you take a terrible trade, it's still somewhat okay at the end of the day, just because your opponent has nothing after that. So like
Yes.
denying this fort and also killing the longbows, the dragoons. I mean, to be fair, means that now what do you do as Wicked? I mean, he's stacking so much food he cannot spend because he doesn't have the infrastructures to spend it. He should just buy wood and drop a military building maybe here and 8 Cassadors. Naked Cassadors, there's just nothing to cover them. The next batch of Hussars is gonna be tough here.
Yeah, 2 goons in the back, but that is not enough. It should give Wicked some breathing room, at least for like until the next Hussar batch, I suppose. But is that enough?
I think it's pretty much what he had to do anyway. I mean, what else can you ship there? Organ guns? It's not any better. So he had to ship units, he had to ship Cassadors, but yeah, I don't think they will be alive for a very long time. Yeah, and he needs those goons to cover his Cassadors. Please just bring these Cassadors here next to the water, the only place on the map where they are safe actually, because now he's pulling them back in base, but well, only 2 Huss are out for SoldieR, but surely he's gonna train more and then they will just die. So a barracks also going up. Wicked desperate to spend his resources. Maybe should just go double stable at this point, because I don't think he will ever get enough Cassadors to actually challenge the longbows. I don't know. Maybe just double stable, goon Hussar, and hope for the best, and ship organ guns and try to get a good fight. It's not. This game is not quite over, but it does look like SoldieR is in a commanding lead. Also, Wicked sitting on only 12 fishing boats. Like the whole plan was to water boom. He's got eco theory on his boats, but no upgrades, water upgrades. You know, and just such a bad eco actually for Portuguese. And SoldieR is now clicking up, and I don't know what's gonna stop him really.
Yeah, he can just ship the Falconets and kind of keep his commanding military unit lead. I guess Wicked could not get his fish going simply because he couldn't afford to invest wood in it. Finally getting into a stable position is WickedCossack, but I might be too little too late. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think SoldieR is content with all the damage he's done. He could still keep pushing, honestly, but yeah.
What's this?
I just saw the church. I was like, what is this for? And yeah, spies in stealth mode. I guess when you're so ahead, it's not too big of an investment and you just get so much line of sight out of these. So he can contain even more. Still kind of a questionable investment, but meanwhile, he's also getting the TP line. So he's going to stagecoach that and get even more ahead in eco. And yeah, once SoldieR is fortress and he gets falconets, I don't know what's really left for Wicked to deal with that.
What if he ships organs and then somehow there's too few units? Even if he shipped organs and somehow managed to force a fight and trade the army before the Falconets come out, I don't. Maybe, but again, like the timing is just too not going to work out. Oh, Mamelukes.
That is what he needs actually. Perfect timing, right? When SoldieR is aging. So Wicked, I think he might hesitate here to take a fight, but when he sees SoldieR is up, he will he's anyway going for it. Is it gonna be enough? I don't know, but it's a good start. Also SoldieR dropping the foundry, but not what you want right now. He needs units, and Wicked sniping the pikes quite nicely here. A really nice micro actually by Wicked, and there's not too much to fight the Mamluks maybe, although the villagers are tanking so much here. And the Musks are joining the fight in melee. The Spy also joining the fight. And I think Wicked is going to clean this up, but I'm not sure if he will have enough units left after that to really snowball it.
The Mamelukes did amazingly here, really cutting down the of soldiers' infantry.
The Spy, I forgot about it, but of course the Spy deals with Mams really well. It's not what he wanted them for, but... Imagine if he just pulled back all of his spies and just attacked the Mams, would have been great. Because these guys deal 200 damage to Mams. And look at that, one last spy.
Yep, the last one, I don't... Wicked barely snipes him?
Oof.
Oh.
Cassadors do not do good against Falks. And the last spy is going to be MVP here. That spy is great now. It deals only 100 damage actually to mercenaries, never mind. But
but the goons just come in and finish up the Falcon. That is an extremely... Well, I mean, he does trade
They
quite a bit of
die. Yeah.
goons for those falconets. I don't know.
I think it was a good trade for Wicked, but again, he was so far behind, it's not quite enough. And now it's also the point where Wicked is going to be out of unit shipments. He can still ship 7 Castadors, which isn't exactly the greatest. Oh, well, also 2 organ guns, to be fair. But then what? I mean, SoldieR is going to make more artillery. He's going to ship units himself. He's going to just sit on his superior eco. If only he gets Stagecoach, Brits is ahead in eco. Yeah, I mean, it's looking better for Wicked now. It's a game.
Should be, yeah, I think so as well, because if anything, if only, excuse me, because SoldieR is not currently training any artillery. He's got 3 Hussar in queue.
Right. Interesting.
2
Yeah,
falconets coming down
he's
though.
shipping Fogs, so maybe he could just make P-Tords and just nuke the last TC while pushing or something. But also one thing we have to why there was a veal here from SoldieR, quite ballsy,
Yeah.
aggressive gathering, and
I think it's the BM villager.
yeah.
Oh, but all these villagers getting caught. I think they will escape, but not being able to gather all that
Ooh.
food is going to be. Oh,
Five vet Huss popping there. There is some anti-cav to deal with it. Enough guns probably now. And the Falconet. This is a very scary army from SoldieR. And suddenly he's just so ahead in the military.
truly he is. Soldier's army going to be extremely difficult for Cossack to deal with.
And look at this shipment progression. SoldieR was stacking 2 shipments upon age up, and then he got another one back to back just because time for him to ship 2 shipments, and he's got a third one. So you can see every 40 seconds a shipment popping. 10 longbows, 9 musks, 2 falcons, and that's how now he's extremely ahead in military. Just 3 unit shipments back to back like that, and that is a scary army. Not quite over, but SoldieR just constantly in the lead. He does need to make something happen, I guess.
SoldieR unhappy with the map, but
yeah, look at that. I think we could kill the veal there, and so denying an entire hunt pretty much. Although SoldieR could still sneak a veal and try to herd it away from the water, but yeah. And he as well, that veal might die. So SoldieR running out of food now, just dropping. No, he's on berries, but he might just need meals soon. He's gonna run out of berries soon.
He is, and Wicked on the other hand has actually boat fleet a little bit, so he's actually back on the water in a manner that is relevant to the game. 2 organs coming down. Wicked's biggest problem that he needs to solve right now is how to deal with these falconets in this army.
Yeah. Organs don't do too good against fogs.
Oh
boy, that is a lot of hassles. The fogs are gonna die, but they can maybe just kill the organ guns. Yeah, and there's a lot of bikes, a lot of busts, a lot of guns. I think it looks scary, but in fact SoldieR is totally fine here. This is probably gonna be GG. I think the hassles are just gonna die. They do not have cav combat either, and it's a lot of them. So yeah, I think this is gonna be really tough for Wicked.
Yeah, it's too many leftover units from the British player.
So more
Cuss are
veals,
getting cleaned up.
More veals being pulled forward by SoldieR here. Interesting. And yeah, the scores are now looking pretty bad for Wicked as well.
And Wicked is out of shipments that could help swing the game into his favor as well. No more unit shipments or anything else that could give him a tempo.
Yep.
Not even advantage, but just to bring him back into the game tempo-wise. This army at this point from SoldieR is borderline unbeatable for the Portuguese player.
He would need a sick fight, or maybe a sick merc. He's dropping a saloon. Ooh, Swiss spikes and ninjas, not the greatest mercs you can get. So, and also SoldieR can make spies, so yeah. Oh boy.
Screw spies. SoldieR finally getting out a huge batch of falconets. SoldieR is basically going to run out of food. He is on berries and mills, but at this point, it doesn't look like it will actually impact the ending of this game.
Yeah. I mean, the eco is quite similar. I don't like that SoldieR did not get Stagecoach yet, but either way, yeah, I mean, well, Wicked did end up getting the long lines upgrade, which means that overall his fishing boats gather something like 30% faster or 35% or something with the 2 upgrades. So then they have eco theory. We need to remember that all of these 70 pop of bills and fishing boats is affected by eco theory. So Wicked is ahead in eco, but how long do you need to catch up when you're 50 units behind just with your superior eco? And losing a TC is not going to help. Wicked slamming down a tower just to get a shipment point, although I don't even know what he's going to ship. Probably 1k gold to just train some units, but chopping so much wood because he doesn't have access to so many resources. And the fight,
almost out of position, but
just GG.
that is denied.
Yeah, and now they're gonna shoot, and yeah, GG indeed.
Oh, quite the game though.
Yeah, pretty good game. So SoldieR getting the pride win here, just even though his team is out of the tournament, he does win 3-2 against SKG, WickedCossack.
If you look at the resources gathered graph, it kind of tells the story of this game.
It kind of what, sorry?
It tells the story of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm still focusing on the game instead of the actual EPL and whatnot, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, even though SoldieR went for a very low eco build, he still outgathered just because of all the idle time and stuff. And that's what happens, even if you trade really poorly against the fort and all that, you throw all your units to Minutemen and whatever. At the end of the day, you know, Wicked is just idled forever and never really able to have any sort of counterplay, just passively getting good trades with Minutemen, with the fort, with TC Fire and everything, but still no counterplay, just not being able to do anything of his own, really, just reacting and not really getting an army of his own until very late in the game. Like the first time where we can say Wicked had an actual army was at probably 18 minutes when he got the MAMs, because before that he was sitting on at most 25 pop-up units the whole game, even less for most of the game.
Absolutely. No, for sure. And I think SoldieR demonstrated how to play against Otter like really effectively, disregarding the Caravel rush that perhaps didn't work out in his favor. He never ever gave WickedCossack the breathing room necessary to pool enough units to form an army, as you said.
Yeah, exactly. Just always under pressure, never able to do what he wants to do. So yeah, that's the end of the series. 3-2 for SoldieR. I believe it's also the end for us.
I believe so as well. I don't think there is anything else planned afterwards.
Indeed. Yep. So I guess
an enjoyable series to cast nonetheless. I had so much fun, and the games were close and the games were fun, down to the wire, really to the end. So
a really good series indeed. So yeah, that's gonna be it for us.